you know, they made a lot of short A plays. They kind of made Wind and Rain think quite a lot here and there. But as we go now, we'll have to see if they keep playing the old guessing game.
Yeah, we are into the affair. Fish123 on the CT side, Endpoint over on the T side. As we're going to start off with Stanley and Crucial actually quite aggressively peeking out towards top mid.
Yeah, Joey always loved the aggression at mid on this too. He always liked pushing up if he could, but with Loza being there, it kind of halts him a bit until he gets back up.
And this is a different one as well. Normally they never really push long. I mentioned before with Endpoint, with their CT side, it's normally pretty good. It's pretty standard. We never expected it in that last match, but we'll have to see. You've got to remember that Wind and Rain lineup wasn't exactly the full lineup, you could say, missing members like Hemzik and all those kind of players. It wasn't really the full shebang, you could say, so we'll have to see how they actually do against Fish.
Yeah, it's like having a mixed grill, but with just bacon. It's not really a mixed grill at all.
I suppose. It wouldn't be a mixed grill, would it?
I never really liked a mixed grill. I have to have one thing, and that's it. I'm a very, very fussy man.
Are you the sort of person, though, that would like go to a McDonald's and eat specifically the burger first, then the fries, and then the milkshake?
No, I like to mix up a little bit. Like, you know, having
bit of
like,
burgers and fries.
Yeah, you got a bit
Dip
of
the
both.
milkshake in the burger.
Yeah.
I got harassed for saying, because I ate my sandwich downstairs and I was taking a few crisps after a bite of sandwich. I got harassed for that. They said that was weird. They said it's like eating your dessert at the same time. I know. They said it was like eating your dessert. The crisps are dessert.
Savoury.
Yeah, the cookies were the dessert.
Yeah.
That's weird because like even my missus, she's Eastern European, and it's like when I have a sandwich, I have a crisp with it. And she goes, "Why do you eat crisp with the sandwiches?" I'm like, "Well, it's like UK delicacy. It's like little extras I have to
it's a meal.
fill the hole, isn't it?
Spice to it.
You need to fill the hole, don't you?
Got no salt left? Just add ready salted crisps into the sandwich. Just layer them in. It's fine.
People just don't understand, do they?
No.
Just don't get it. Endpoint are looking a little bit salty right now, though, as everyone's crumbling away like quite a big crumbly crisp.
Big crumbly crisp.
Yeah, they brought it back, though. They've glued themselves back together.
That was very similar to the Antico we saw yesterday, if you remember. So I think it was Wind and Rain had a lot of players stacked along that catwalk area, and they kind of just hailed at them. This time, Endpoint learned from mistakes to an extent. Right, it was still a bit scrappy, but the round win is all that was needed, really.
They love a good mess, don't they, really?
Yeah.
In that kind of circumstances. Max, 5 kills already. He's already learned from his mistakes yesterday, and yeah, he's just cracking on, learning from his mistakes, like he said yesterday, and doing those long A pushes consistently compared to all the short A's. But might be just doing that just because it's early days and to make Fish think about it a little bit.
Oh, Eccles, though, with a backstab play could be quite effective. Robin is lying in wait to actually execute him if he goes through, but the timing's going to be everything. They're all grouped up. They're banging on Heaven's Door towards the A site, trying to go for the play. Ooh, Luzzer goes down first. Stanley, though, he's bloodthirsty, and unfortunately he's executed his own teammates whilst Thomas the Pain Train pulls into the station and finds 2 men.
Yeah, a bit of another messy situation. I mean, in the past,
blood everywhere.
Yeah, they wouldn't normally smoke the crossover sort of area, and this time we thought we better smoke it because last time we got hit by too many angles.
Yeah,
it's quite funny. Thomas has always got that Mac 10 in hand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves that guy.
He loves it,
even in overtime.
Yeah,
when he has 16 grand.
Well, do you know what? He's likes to save his money. Likes to have a savings account to make sure that his current account doesn't get too short, you could say.
Yeah.
His offshore bank account. He just buy loads of Mac 10s, leaves them lying around his house.
Assets.
Yeah. The Endpoint house is just Mac 10s everywhere.
He's probably got every skin for the Mac 10. It wouldn't surprise me.
He rotates them out daily.
Yeah.
Every round he leaves the server, comes back with a new skin.
Pause.
Yeah, I need a pause now. Oh, look, Robin's skinless Mac 10.
Despicable.
Maybe Thomas can help him out. Oh, Max. The final blow there on Eccles as well. So a good start for Endpoint, at least. They picked up the pistol round. They've got the next 3 rounds off the back. And you've got to remember to rock the Casbah.
Yeah. I suppose you do need to remember, but one of the players we had last match who started strong was Eccles. This time, 0 kills, an assist. Not as strong as before, and I think he's a momentum player.
Yeah.
So chances are we won't see that crazy, what was it, 40 kills I think by the end?
He might have put all of his energy into that.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Maybe, right? You know, as he slowly got more and more aggressive as the game went on. He went Super Saiyan about, 5 rounds into the game. From that point, you can get to around Super Saiyan 5, then it's sort of really, you can't really go anywhere else. He's now gone back to normal, and he's used a lot of energy. So obviously his power level's reset. Yeah, he's tired. He's going to have to wait a while. He's kind of burnt it, really, isn't he?
Unless he goes Ultra Instinct towards the end or something. But yeah, to be fair, if that was me and I nearly 40 bombed and I lost that first map, I would be absolutely livid.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're like, I've got 40 kills, we're not even dominating them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what more can I do?
Why are we struggling?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Very easy round though for Endpoint again. They haven't had a challenge taking long yet. So that was one of the things Wind Rain did yesterday. They always had 2, maybe 3 players even, trying to challenge that A-long push. And it did keep Endpoint away, whether it was a 1-for-1 trade or they just simply wouldn't go out. This time Fish, they thought, we'll put Joey on site, we'll get him with the AWP. But he just gets overwhelmed. They smoke across him, they flash him out, and he just gets gunned down by Thomas.
Thomas still running around with the Mat 10 as well, like a headless chicken, just annihilating anyone, laying massive eggs. What a chicken.
Massive eggs.
Massive frag eggs.
And he gets a bigger prize, such as a skinned M4, in fact.
Well, there you go, he's upgraded. The egg has hatched. Isn't that nice?
He's evolved pretty much, hasn't he?
Basically.
Just having a laugh at Mac 10, but I think he's thinking now, yeah, let's probably give him a chance. They know my Mac 10 skills are a bit overwhelming for him, especially on a map like this of all maps.
Look at his cash as well, Harry. That's outrageous.
The bank of Thomas. Talking about it before with his savings account, and that is definitely doing a good job of it, you know?
Here we go. Here comes the battle for long then. Ooh. So Pulse, they'll have heard the CZ, but I don't think they know he's actually there. There's too much noise, I think. Zero gets free reign and just shoot anyone.
The rotates come over as well. The beacons have been lit.
This is a full battle.
Rohan will aid them. As they come in, everyone is going down. Oh, hello! Return to form there. They just annihilate him. Max with a headshot on Crucial. It's just T-Sac and Stanley that are left. That's not fantastic at all. They are left in such an awkward spot. Stanley all the way over towards mid, going to try and go for the backstab. And T-Sac going to try and take the brute force of the damage, Harry.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by that. Normally, in that kind of scenario, you had 1 in pit and you had 3 long aims. You would have assumed that Fish would have had better end of the stick, just keep trading until one person rotates from B. But yeah, not going to lie, a bit of a strange one. But what makes it even stranger is the fact that Endpoint normally focus on that short A when they're trying to execute the site. And maybe 1 or 2 long just to kind of keep them guessing, keep Fish on their toes to trying to make a few decisions here and there in those 50-50 plays. But Endpoint just don't seem to care. They're just going straight in, aren't they? No mucking about.
Yeah, I think it's when they actually get a fight out long, they try and dedicate to make sure they get the whole control. But at that time, they got 3 kills. They were like, we might as well carry on, right? We're going to outnumber them anyway. Just make sure we're there to trade, and we can infinitely trade until we win the round, in theory. And there we go. You see, look at the commitment from Fish123. They've thrown so many grenades just to get control of here. And Endpoint, not too bothered, really.
It's a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure if Fish are uncomfortable on this map. We haven't really seen them play on this map, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, during the regular season, they'd only played... Actually, they'd played 4 maps, hadn't they? But they haven't played
they had played the most.
Yeah,
but,
they haven't played Dust 2.
Yeah, Dust 2 wasn't one of their picks.
Yeah, very peculiar to be thrown into it, I suppose. This early in a best of 5 as well.
Well, that's the thing as well. It was always kind of the point, like, back when Cobblestone was the newer addition to the map pool, the fact that it was like, what team is going to specialize in that map? Who's actually going to put the time in and get good on the map, even though it might not come up as regularly? And that's what Endpoint have done. They've put a lot of effort into playing Dust 2 more regularly now. They found actually they like it and were good at it from the get-go. So it helps you, because it expands your map pool even more, especially in a best of 5. You need to be as diverse as possible.
If Joey was watching that very carefully, he saw the bomb get thrown across. If he really wanted to, he could boldly just say, this is going to be a B play. I've been watching mid this entire round.
Oh.
This is the cannonball strat, right? So Max drops into that smoke like a cannonball. You'd normally jump into a swimming pool, right? And he just sits in the smoke for a few seconds, then he'll emerge later on, and hopefully they get a nice B split coming from it.
The cannonball works well. Luz on the entry as well, finds the headshot. Oh, the battle of the trade game now begins. It's the 1 versus 2. He missed the shots on the cross. T-Sac isn't able to eliminate, but Surreal is hot on his tail as he's barreling down from Dark, trying to find that frag. Pulse spots him, Pulse kills him, and he gets left in the 1v1.
Yeah, Pulse is playing really well so far. He did quite well in that last game, and you feel like in these 1v2 kind of scenarios, Pulse does a pretty good job, quite calm and collective, and seen him do some decent things, but against T-Sac, it's going to be quite a difficult one. Does peek out anyway instead of playing for time, but might as well. Anyway, nice 1v2 to get away with that, and still no rounds on the board for Fish, which is a little bit surprising, but it's like I said before, maybe just a little bit uncomfortable on this map, and Endpoint having this as their first pick, it's not surprising considering how well they did the last match yesterday.
Very successful cannonball.
Yeah, that was a... what would the judges give that? I'd give that a 10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah? Harry, 10 for form?
Yeah, I'm just going to say 10. Yeah, why not?
Nice. That's 30 points, Devon judges. Full marks.
I think we need to broaden our horizons on this scoring card. So we've got 10 for form,
Yep.
execution.
Yeah, execution. Splash control.
Splash, yeah.
There wasn't much splash.
Yeah, that's the other part. If there's a big splash, they'd know he's in the smoke, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, I suppose smog control. If the if the smoke
You'd
leaks
waft it
a bit,
away.
yeah.
If he landed really poorly.
Oh, look at Crucial.
Oh,
He's been one smoggy boy. Oh,
Let's
he's
get
dead.
the kill, though.
Yeah, he got one. Eccles is going to try it.
Second time.
Maybe. Second time lucky. Let's see. They are holding the rear.
So
Ben
Max
Jackson
has actually
classic.
got a real good position right here on the map. So they know Eccles was outside long. Max has that info. He's kind of wondering, could I find him?
Oh.
First bullet accuracy betrays him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eccles could have kept him on their toes a little bit. That is his plan. But when you've got Max from behind, kind of stopping him from doing that, it's a bit of a pain. But it looks like Eccles, he's going to come back through the doors to see if he will peek anyone out. And of course, Thompson will be in pit waiting for him. It doesn't matter now. They're already on the site. Robin does take him down. Getting that bomb down right in front of him. But Stanley, sadly, doesn't get the opportunity to even take out the bomb go, let alone the one on ramp. But T-Sack's not in the best of spots.
Thomas finds the headshot on T-Sack, then eliminates him. Every time it seems like Fish might have a little bit of a chance or a possible opportunity. Goes out the window very quickly. Endpoint just battering them. Trying to actually get our schedule a little bit more back on track with this one, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit difficult to get back from a 1 hour 40 game. But, I mean,
16-0 would help.
Yeah,
would help.
16-0 would help,
Yeah.
to be fair. That'd be quite nice. Yeah. But it depends. Can Fish...
Ooh.
Ooh. Can
Hate
Fish
to see
get
it.
on the board at all this game?
Well, we said it before. It has happened once already this weekend. So, you never know. Wouldn't be surprising. Endpoint seemed to be pretty good on this map. Pretty consistent considering yesterday as well. But against Fish, you know, it's going to be a tough nut to crack. But I'll just see if I can try and do something with this.
Yeah, the CT hold again is quite spread out, I suppose, is the best way of looking at it. I mean, I think Crucial had his eyes on short then, missed the first shot. They've got full short control now. And Pulse is, I'd say, causing havoc at long, just because he's making sure that Surreal doesn't get too comfortable. And this mid to B could be horrible for them. Like, if they smoke CT, that means these two B players are isolated entirely.
Yeah, Stanley's looking for that window now and again, but the one time it wasn't there. Probably a good thing considering Lazar without AWP coming through mids. This could be the opportunity to execute that B-side, depending on if T-Sack does come behind him.
Horrible situation for Eccles there.
Yeah, just trapped in a rock
Really
in a hard
horrible.
place, an even harder place. So it doesn't really work out well for him. Into the 3 versus 3 now. Pulse going to hold towards mid. They're having none of it. They're backing off. The Fish school are going to swim away, try and survive another day. Don't fancy attempting to swim upriver and bypass the bears at the B site.
Yeah, I suppose, if you want to... Which player, actually, from Endpoint would you say is most similar to a bear?
Mighty Max.
Would you say Mike?
Max is a bear cub.
Yeah, I was going to say he's more of a cub, isn't he?
Shiki is a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Thomas is probably the middle child.
Yeah, Thomas is the younger bear, like the older brother, but still quite young.
Yeah.
Who's the mother bear, do you reckon?
Ads.
Yeah, Ads is mama bear.
Father bear?
Pete would be Papa
yeah.
bear.
Yeah, that's the family.
Robin's Goldilocks. No, Lazar's Goldilocks. Yeah, he'd dye his hair and it'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Max would be good at the old bear hugs?
I reckon he would be.
Yeah,
I reckon he would be.
Huggable lad?
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
cute, very huggable.
Yeah, Jack's got some previous experience.
With Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dimmy. Dead now, of course.
Dead now, yeah.
So Fish have gone for a pause here. Fish have
Very much needed.
They've decided, look, boys, we've lost 8 rounds. Should we have a chat? And they've gone, go on then.
Yeah, they're probably sitting here talking, explaining things, maybe saying stuff like, you know, Endpoint are kind of taking a mickey here. We're trying to figure out a way to how to get out of it. Maybe the timeout should have happened a couple more rounds ago. But yeah, after 8 rounds, they probably would say, yeah, they're taking a mick. We're trying to find out, you know, an equation to try and figure out a formula to get around on the board. Or maybe they might just be chatting away and thinking, what on earth can we do?
Can we just
Should we
kill
think about
them?
the 3rd map? Yeah, can we at least get a few kills or at least get something going in this game? Like,
Thing is, they've done a pause on a round where I feel like Endpoint might just go for a fast B.
It's
Simply
looking
those
like
3
it.
spawns were really, really good. Pulse would do the same old grenades towards long, and they can do this slow B take that they did before. So they did this yesterday with Lazar slowly walking in with the AWP, but they had the rifles get close enough that they could then be flashed in. And here comes this B split.
Oh,
Losing
Eccles
that
though.
first fight. Not
Actually,
great.
the response from Lazar is tremendous.
Yeah, so by Pulse and Max just then at mid, they took a huge risk by just running out without smoking CT. They were quite lucky that they managed to get 1 for 1. Unfortunately, Crucial was there, but Huge risk. And I mean, it's paid off technically. Like 3v2. We taking that B bomb site, it's got to be a no.
Yeah.
Save
Gotta
again.
back off. Yeah, save
Literally
again.
the exact
Literally.
scenario.
The same map that we were on with the AWPs.
Yep.
Max got very angry at me in SEO once during a tournament we were playing in because me and Ben had to save for 2 rounds in a row. It was the first time I'd ever heard Max raise his voice ever in his entire life. And he just echoed down the microphone going, save again! And we were very scared, so we sat in pit.
Did you, well, in your opinion, did you lose some brownie points to Max?
No, it just, it made me realise that the little bear has a big bite.
Wasn't a nice person.
Yeah, the bear cub can be a ferocious bear.
He can hit.
Yeah. He protect, he attack, he lose Inferno.
Well, I find quite strange as well, during that timeout, I'm not too sure if Fish really changed too much. Like, Endpoint didn't really... They haven't really done too many B executes, but it might have given Endpoint the opportunity to go, well, if Fish Point maybe change how they're setting up on that CT side, maybe we'll do something different as well to kind of throw them off a little bit, you know?
Oh, Lazar with the entry. Well, you know what's interesting, you might say that, Harry. The thing is, Fish right now might be drowning. Now, I know you might be thinking Fish drowning. That seems a bit bizarre. But interestingly enough, Fish can drown. If they're in water that has too little oxygen in it, say too small of a pond or a pond that doesn't really have enough oxygen for them to survive in, they can drown in the water because they can't get enough oxygen through their gills and they die. So maybe Fish needs a change of water, a change of scenery, some more oxygen brought in.
Did I tell you when I had a goldfish and when it was like 6 years old, it just went pure white? I think did you talk about that?
Did your mum replace it with another fish and just
to make it look as though I didn't know?
Yeah.
And I was proper OCD about it. I was like, no, that was white. I'm 100% certain. And she was just like, no, it weren't. I'm like, it was. It's been there for years.
I've got pictures of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's next to my bedside cabinet, you know?
Yeah. I remember that. It's like my family always used to tell me that my pets had gone off to live on a farm.
I always love how it has to be a farm.
A farm.
They've gone to the farm.
Yeah. But why?
What happens at farms?
Yeah.
You just get livestock and then turn them into meat, technically, most of the time. Or use them for whatever other things. So your goldfish
now lives on a farm. Yeah. That can't be a very good habitat for him. There's not much water at a farm. Oh, crucial. It's a bad miss.
Maybe that fish just fancied a change of scenery, you know?
Maybe. He grew legs and he just walked off. To be fair, the way my fish actually died, I had a fish called Norbert. Obviously after the Eddie Murphy movie.
Yeah, the Eddie Murphy film.
Yeah. I vowed never to eat fish again after he died as well because I was very young. And that actually stayed true until last year when I tried sushi for the first time. Fish are having a pause as well, so we can have a fish fact breakdown in the meantime. Yeah, and interestingly enough, Norbert just grew a massive bulge on his head and then he started swimming sideways and then eventually could only swim upside down. And obviously at that point I realised something was wrong. Norbert then died that night.
So he wasn't just being a weirdo, just...
No, he wasn't just being quirky.
Yeah.
He was dying.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Dead now, of course.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, well, he could be on the farm.
Yeah,
could be in the farm.
Maybe. It would have been more imagining if they went, he's gone to the circus.
The aquarium.
The Freakzo fish. Yeah, the aquarium.
But then you're like, why have you done that?
Yeah.
Why have you taken my fish away?
Where's he gone?
Trying to bring some money in for the house and home, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Sold them for 4 quid.
Yeah.
Surreal's been shot.
It's not great when you get shot.
No, that's an APB.
This is finally a different style of play from Fish. I mean, they've stormed tunnels, 3 players. Happily given up long, but how many rounds have we seen Fish come from behind that long and fail to actually capitalise on it?
Yeah, but look at this though, like Eccles and Stanley coming all the way around T-spawn. It's a very aggressive push. I think they just want to try and get some information beforehand, because as you noticed, managed to get away with it quite a few times from Endpoint, but look at him now, all 5 members on that A long, but one thing you've got to remember, Eccles and Stanley are going to come right by them through those doors. They might have a pretty good time or a bit of a mare.
Max is
Timing
ready for
here.
it. Ooh, finds the first headshot.
Oh,
What is that, Molly?
I was going to say, did you just line Molly for short after fighting?
My goodness, that would have been very keen. Oh, Stanley with a trade back does get tagged and forced to retreat, but Thomas starts to pop off now. He knows he's got to get him in a headlock towards the A site, start giving him a little noogie if he wants to try and gain control. The burst through the smoke, but Robin catches T-Sack off guard. They've got site control. It's just Stanley that remains. It's a 1v3. In his prime, he'd be able to win these. Can he do it today? No. Goes down. Slain by Thomas, and that's another round, uncontested now. 11 rounds on the trot.
So this is it's drawing some parallels for me for, do you remember the old Kaz lineup with Jake, Rom?
Org for a pound.
Yeah, that very well.
I like that now.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was Jake, Rom, Def,
Yep.
Keita, and I think who else was in there. There was one more player. And
Surreal?
no, not yet.
No.
No, it was when that Winter Ice series that.
Oh, the one, yeah.
Yeah. So it was that lineup, and they played Dust 2 a lot, and we watched over like 2 of their demos, and they would always go long. And even though most teams knew that they were 5 long, they had a strat from long, which was, they said, unbeatable, is what they said, right? And we capitalized on that. We went behind them every time. We managed to get a kill or 2, and it was actually quite difficult to stop. And the only time it actually got stopped properly was when Max got 4 kills from the site, all headshots. That was the only time. This is very reminiscent of that, though. Like last round, they had 2 people behind. They still weren't able to win the round.
Endpoint, more like Vex style.
Ooh, Vex style.
Rest in peace. Damage coming through though. Robin with the entries, finding 2 easy headshots there. The rest of the team just cleaning up. They're just looking like a whole bunch of janitors right now. They've got a mop, a bucket. Max has got the wet wipes, and Fish123 a spilt drink. Yeah, and they're gone.
Thomas 16 and 4, literally shooting fish out of the barrel, aren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, they're just trapped.
Yeah, it feels like a training ground game, doesn't it? Like they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And they're not quite figuring out how to stop it.
Yeah. Aim bots. Aim fish.
Aim fish.
Aim fish.
I think you're right, though. Could actually be a 16 and 0. I wouldn't be... I would have been quite surprised before that, but even now, this could be the... maybe the turning point, you could say.
Yeah. Joey kind of had enough of the not being able to have a good impact across the board, so he decides to rush up mid, get 2 kills, and... This is looking better again. We haven't had a close situation like this for Fish in, 7 rounds? Something like that?
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been years, isn't it?
Literally eons. Last time we saw Fish win a round was in Source.
Eccles, though. Are they going to check the right-hand side first here?
He's got 4 frags. Can he make it 6 off the back of this round? A minute on the clock. They peek out. They don't clear it immediately. Now Luzza knows, but he's got the AWP in close range. Eccles doubles down, finds a way for the kills, grabs a free AWP. Finally, Fish get around, but it's on the 13th round of the game. It's not a great start, and they really need to try and accumulate more, because even 1 round isn't enough of a buffer. If they lose that next pistol, they could be out of the game.
Yes. Could be a bit of a mission. They could win these next 2 rounds, 12-3, win the pistol, maybe 12-6, and then even after the first buy on 12-8. So... it's not impossible, but at this stage, Endpoint are just looking, apart from that last one, pretty invincible, and it's going to be a pretty tough one. Because I think when we did it, Endpoint didn't have too bad of a CT side, did they, actually?
Yeah, the CT side was actually alright. It was quite surprising. Like, I was wondering, will it potentially cross over from Inferno or Mirage or anything? And it was pretty good. I mean, it seems like they're quite fluid on the map in general. Like, they seem quite comfortable. They played it quite a few times from what we can see here.
Yeah, because when we saw them yesterday, we thought, okay, they're actually pretty good at Dust 2. And then they probably thought to themselves as well. They're probably like, well, you know what, we actually, we're right at Dust 2. We think we'll stick with it for the final, why not?
Yeah, just clearly they feel a lot more comfortable on this compared to even Overpass or even Mirage, which, it's quite a weird one. But Eccles, I mean, he's pushed tunnels again. However many rounds he's done this so far this game, I think it's 6, 7 times maybe.
Trying to catch him with their pants down, really, but...
Just look at the map. There's 1 player B-side from both teams, really.
I think they just had enough, really, haven't they?
Heavily prioritising the A site. It all depends on the opposite, doesn't it? They're both in the same angle, essentially, and neither of them get a chance to get the shot. And Thomas gets that lurk kill, which the AWPers are stuck now. If Thomas were to crunch them from the other side, they know there'd be something wrong. But instead, it's going to be a B rotate, and the rotation needs to be quick. Joey's not going to get there in time. The B site's going to be free for Thomas to get into.
He's going to try and contest it, but Thomas in this position will find the headshot. Now they've got the mid to B completely at their grasp. They can run through. T-Sac still waiting to see in case the player goes towards the A side. Does dink him down, kills Luzza. So that's at least an AWP taken away. He can try and recover it. The pulse is there, and Reese knows what's up.
Does actually get his hands on it, but technically he's got, 40 seconds to save here?
Yeah, it's a long save. Ooh, and that's a bad miss.
He's not much of an AWPer, to be fair. He doesn't like to pick it up very often.
That'd be why.
Yeah, I literally just took the words right out of my mouth just then.
And look at that money. This has to be a force by last round and a half. Really dire straits, if I'm honest.
Yeah, 19 and 5 for Thomas, having a bit of a laugh, really, to be fair.
Auto snipers.
Yeah, double auto. You got
this
pulse
is just two back.
Robin, it's throwback.
Here
the 4 scopes, the auto sniper spams. Just the 1. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
So we all gave it a go, didn't he? I thought, you know what, why not?
Dink.
That was a big dink. The big dink play.
Big dinko.
Big Donny Dinko. Max in the site, though, with a further dink as he takes down Stanley, looking for a little bit more chaos to ensue. As they're just storming in. They've already secured the site. They're going to need reinforcements. And Thomas is still just lurking towards T-spawn, doing the sliggy.
That is the sliggy.
That is the sliggy.
Yeah.
What, just sitting back, chilling pretty much.
Having the T-spawn
on
on
your
lock.
knees
Yeah.
as well. Sat on your knees.
Yeah, yeah, both knees folded under.
Yeah.
Classic sliggy.
14-1. So not quite 15-0. But it may as well be at this rate.
Yeah.
Endpoint win the pistol, chance that that's 100% game over.
Yeah, if Endpoint get that pistol round, God help him.
God help him. Thing is, we haven't seen any like flashes from Fish either. Like normally, you have instances in games where they do get one-sided. Like, so, for example, that Vex game against London Lynx.
Yeah.
JBA had an ace one round, which was like that was one of the rounds they won, and then another round was like a 3K and a 4K. We've not even seen that this game. Like nobody's had an attempt to flash, out there fantastic plays. Like highest frags on 10.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. If you look at the comparison there between Endpoint and Fish in terms of the overall kills, it's just a super stark contrast, and it's just not good enough. Fish, though, going to go for a fast play. Is the B bombardment. Thomas with the CZ. The nade, so much damage.
They're all so low as well.
Yeah, Pop's trying to get a couple of kills of his own, which he actually does, but sad for him. Crucial does get taken out, but still only 2 left, and of course, he is the last man on that CT. Does try and take one out, but just doesn't happen. So yeah, you're looking at a 16-1. Why is it every time we cast a game with you, it's just really weird?
Just brings the weird out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we are quite weird, aren't we, to be fair?
I think one of the big things about that round was just pretty much just, we're just going to rush B, get it over with.
Yeah.
If we win the round, fine, we'll try and go from there. But if we lose, whatever. That's probably game anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought Thomas would get more kills. That nade did loads. And then
He did
CZ, you're thinking he might be able to hold down Mouse 1.
He's got enough kills as it is, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he likes to keep his savings high.
What, keep staying?
Yeah, keep going. Push for it.
You got to reach.
Oh, the lone cannonball.
Didn't really work.
0 for 4.
Yeah, not as good.
0 for execute as well.
Yeah. 0 for splash. There was no smoke to not splash.
Yeah.
Sorry, 0 for smog.
Smog, yeah.
T-Sack with a scout. Trying to stay alive, and he's dead. That's it. Endpoint get the win. So they've now gone 1-1 in terms of the map series. Endpoint pick up their map pick. Fish pick up theirs, respectively. So they've traded maps. They're keeping it close. But that means we've still got a whole lot of unanswered questions, really. No one side is looking as the dominant force. We had the longest and closest map. We've had the entire Prem. And are now the second quickest map for the entire Prem.
Yeah, it's been quite weird. Not even just to Prem during the whole season, but even this weekend, like even that final series between not Winning Ren and Endpoint, but the first one between We Hop. It's the fact that like we had some weird series where some of the scores were 16-4 and it was like 16-0 to the other end, and we're just like, what on earth's going on? But this could happen in this series as well, considering that 16-1. But this was Endpoint's map pick, and now it's Fish's map pick next. You never know. Could see something maybe the opposite end of the stick, or Endpoint could just get carried away. I think we did say 3-1 or 3-0, didn't we? So it's that prediction's not too far out the window.
No, that is true. Any final thoughts on that one, Ben?
I think we've got a clear upper ending side here, because obviously that was Endpoint's pick. They win 16-1. On Fish's pick, it was 22-19.
Yeah.
So you're at least